Hi everyone, my name is Lavanya. I am working as assistant professor in St.Josephs College of Arts and Science for Women, Hosur, in the Department of Management. So now we are going to see about what is the MIS, that is Management Information System. The meaning of Management Information System. So information system is a system that provides managers with the information they need to plan, organize, control and make decisions. So that is information management information nothing but is a system. It is a system used for the manager to take a decision for the companies like to plan, organize, control like that in the company. So in the simple terms we tells the MIS, that is management information system, is a system which helps the manager to take the right decision at the right times, because this is a system which collects and stores the data and disseminate the data, keep it data into information. Whenever the user needs any information, any data about the company, it's retrieved from the database and give it back to the required users. So definition of management information system. The MIS is a planned system of collecting, storing and disseminating data in a form of information need to carry out the functions of the management. So functions of the management nothing but is a planning, controlling, staffing, organizing and directing. So these are the functions of management. For the planning of the company, the controlling of the company, staffing, recruiting, selection, organizing the company structures and direction, the workflow of communication of the company. These are things which needs to be take a decision, means the manager easily get the data from the each and every functions of the management and they are able to take a decisions very quickly and the right decisions at the right time as well. Next, information is nothing but information, the data, right? So the data which is they collected and keep it stored into the systems. The system is what? The system is nothing but is one or multiple inputs. So these inputs are processed to transform the process to convert into input to the outputs. So it is a set of elements is a system. So through the set of elements we can achieve the common goal of the companies. So the management, that is the functions of the management, the information, that is the data, and the system, that is a set of elements for to achieve the common objective. Using these are all we can able to achieve the decisions, the right decisions. So by Kenneth C. Lawton, he is giving a definition of management information system. So management information system is a system that collects, process, store and disseminates information to support decision making, coordination, control, analysis and visualization in the organization. So objective of MIS. What is objective? Why we need this MIS in the system, MIS in the company? What is the objective? What is the main aim? That is means data capturing. So data capturing, the MIS captures data from various resources like internal resources and external resources. Internal resources inside of the company, external resources outside of the company. So data captures may be manual or through by the computer terminals we can collect the data. So next one, process of data. The captured data is processed and to convert into the required informations. So process data is done by such activities called calculating, sorting, classifying and summarizing. So that data which is processed and converted into information. So store of information. So MI stores the processed or unprocessed data for future use. So whenever the user needs this processed or unprocessed data, they give it back to the users. So retrieval of information. MIS retrieves the information from its stores, that is a database, whenever the requires by the various users. So next, dissemination of information. It is a periodic or online. So information that is which is finished product of MIS is disseminated to the user in organization. It may be a periodically updated or maybe onlinely updated. So they can easily users can easily collect the data from the computer terminals. So next, the characteristics of the MIS. So what is its characteristics? MIS plays a very important role in every aspect of the organizations. So what is the characteristics means? The first, the system approach. System approach nothing but the information follows a system approach. The system approach implies a holistic approach to the study of the system and its performance in the light of the objective which is being constituted. And the second one is management oriented. The top top down approaches. The top down approaches must be followed while designing the MIS. The top down approach suggests system developed starts from the termination of the management needs and overall business objectives. Third one is a need based. So MIS design and develop should be as per the information needs for the management at different level: strategic planning level, management control level, operational control level. In other words, MIS should cater to the specific needs of the management in organization's hierarchy. Next, exception based. MA should develop on the exception based reporting principle, which means abnormal situation, that is any the maximum or minimum or expected values vary beyond the tolerate limit. There should be exception report to the decision makers at required level. So that time the MAs, which is really useful to develop such things. And feature oriented. So besides exception based reporting, MAS should also look at the futures, that is in other words should not merely provide past or historic information, rather than it should provide information on the basis of projection based, which is action may be initiated. So next, integrated nothing but is integrate all the characteristics of the management information system, because its ability to produce more meaningful informations. So is a all is a collections of the all things. So long-term planning MIS developed over relatively long periods, such as system does not develop overnight. A heavy element of planning is involved. The MIS designer must have future objectives and need of the company in the mind. Subsystem concept. In the subsystem concept, the process of MIS development is quite complex, and one is likely to lose insight frequently. Thus, the system, though viewed as a single entity, must be broken down into digestible subsystems, which are more meaningful at the planning stage.